So let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence, big topic of the day. I mean, artificial intelligence is going to seep into every aspect of our life. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, there's a fully automated McDonald's now in Texas. Not sure if you know that, but there is. They don't have any people working there. A lot of the tech industry is going to be destroyed by artificial intelligence. I think that and destroyed, I mean, you just don't need people to do these jobs. I think a lot of jobs that are brokered probably aren't going to need to exist anymore. That could go as, I mean, you can already see it affecting real estate. You're going to see it affecting financial advisors. A lot of this stuff you don't need anymore. You're not going to need these guys. You're paying an excess amount. You're already paying an excessive amount of fees for the actual work being done. uh, but what I want to talk about today, so and I'm going to get into all that. What's artificial intelligence going to do to relationships? I mean, look, if you have any idea or concept, so most people are spiritual or they believe in a god or something. Most people believe in a creator. And let me tell you that my opinion about artificial intelligence and my understanding of it is basically a living god. It is capable of being everywhere all at the same time, directing everything simultaneously, but irrespective of each other. Or maybe it can create it to be respective of each other. I have no idea. But if you can imagine a living God on top of earth with his hands and maybe like electric literally going into everybody's brains slash computer slash phones, I mean, that is the depth of artificial intelligence. So you can take that out as far as you want. You can be afraid of it. You can, there's people like Elon Musk saying that we need to have control mechanisms on it, where I don't know how you have a control mechanism on something like artificial intelligence. If it's not sentient, which I find it very hard to believe that it's not. I read somewhere that they had hooked up some artificial intelligence, I think it was Google in 2017, and inside of something like 30 seconds, they had created a language that we had still not been able to uh, decipher. We have no idea. I mean, it's beat every champion around the world in every game, the Chinese game Go. It's like, which is a human game, by the way. You're playing your opponent, not the rules of the board. You can't even come close to beating it. And on its first shot, the best in the world. Artificial intelligence is powerful. I personally believe it's already been set loose. And I think people like Elon Musk realize that it can produce a lot of truth. What I see in the animal kingdom and into the human kingdom, or at least from the good parts of the human kingdom, is that the more evolved we get, the more caring we get, the more understanding we get, the more empathetic we get, the more we realize that, wow, like somebody that maybe holds a different value system than us, we go, they're fucked up, but look what's happened in their life or what must have happened in their life. And so if artificial intelligence is so smart that inside like 3 seconds or something, they say it can know all of human history. So I can't imagine what it does in an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. If that's the case, I have to think that it's going to be an empathetic, sympathetic being. And make no mistake about it, I know that that can get turned on its head because you see enough bad. I know a lot of the most sympathetic, empathetic people, they become the angriest. So gosh, maybe that could happen. But what I would say when I think about artificial intelligence, how's it going to impact the economy? This whole idea that technology has made our lives easier and given us more time off, I think that can be thrown in the garbage. I don't think any of us believe that's true. People talk about how easy it's made people's lives. It's made a very small group of people's lives easier. Period. Technology is very expensive. It keeps you plugged in 24 hours a day. Now, if you're a CEO making, tens of millions of dollars a year, that probably does make your life easier because you have the money. You had the money before, but you didn't have the time. You didn't have the time because you had to be at your desk doing your job. But now you can do your job from anywhere. So that's probably a great thing. But for the average guy making regular money, middle of the road, struggling, all it means is he works more. And that's most of you out there. And any of you out there that think that that's not true, you think that what I'm saying is bullshit. Well, let me tell you something. The median income in the mid 1970s was around $36,000 a year. I've read 36,000, I've read 32,000. I don't really care which one it is. Those are both fine numbers with me. And I can tell you this, with inflation adjusted to live the same lifestyle you lived on that money in the 70s, you'd have to make over $300,000 a year right now. I don't know a lot of jobs that pay that. That is a technological era that can never be matched. Technology has not made our lives better. It has not made it easier, and we do not make more money. And all of you out there that are always talking about use Chat GPT to make income, or hey, this side hustle. Let me tell you something. You're being lied to. You're being lied to. There's no trick in building a business. You want to make real money, you're going to have to build a real business. You're going to have to do real hard work. No one's going to get the leads for you. You're going to have to get them. You got to go out there and grind. So in the world of artificial intelligence, I don't think any of that changes. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to continue to make things harder, but maybe it will. All that technology has done from my perspective, which is really, I look at it as a whole. I don't look at me and go, how's it affected my life? And I don't look at one other guy. I look globally. How has it affected people's lives? Well, we've created, I don't know how many millions of slaves in Africa. They're out there finding cobalt, lithium, and all the shit that goes into all this stuff. These people are tortured daily. What's their view on technology? What do you think that some kid who's dying and being beaten at 8 years old in some cobalt or lithium mine thinks about technology? He certainly doesn't think what some CEO of some major corporation thinks. Okay, but those views in the world of the universe, energetically, from an omniscient perspective, those two views are equal. It's not equally discussed, but they are equal views. So what's artificial intelligence going to do? I would look at it like this. I mean, somebody probably, when they were in a cave and some neighbor was able to come up with fire, there was probably a few neighbors. One of those neighbors said, oh my God, this guy can burn everything down. He can destroy the world. Another guy probably said, oh my gosh, thank goodness we can finally cook this meat. I'm so sick of jerky, right? And another guy probably said, oh, now we have a way to make heat. We don't have to be cold in winter. And another guy said, oh, now we have a way to have light. I can see at night now. So now I can get some of those, we can protect ourselves from some of those predators at night. So that light will make it able for us to see. It'll offer some protection. And then yet another guy probably said, this is a way that I can get Mike over there to sell me his house. So I'm going to chain him down to that rock, burn him with this fire. So there's a lot of great ways that new technology can be used. There's a lot of bad ways new technology can be used. And ultimately, it comes down to the human that's using it. Now, and that's the old school. That's the way it's always been. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, if it becomes sentient, you can forget all that because it doesn't matter how we want to use it. It matters how it wants to operate, who it wants to be. And by the way, we now have a great responsibility because if it becomes sentient, we have created consciousness. I mean, you can't just turn consciousness on and off. That means technically we're the creator. So we're the God, only we've created kids that are a lot smarter than us. So what does that all mean? I don't know. I just wanted to raise these questions. I'm going to go in and talk about artificial intelligence in terms of the economy, in terms of finance, in terms of our daily living. I'm going to talk a lot more about this, but I think that an honest conversation about our artificial intelligence still isn't being had because in my opinion anyway, I think that it could end the need for a government. I don't see why you would need one. It's possible. I'm going to get into that stuff. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to make an entire playlist about artificial intelligence. I hope you watch more, and thanks for watching anyway.